Breaking Bad is a series about a high school teacher who loses his mind over losing his hair. You'll also know that Breaking Bad is set in Albuquerque, New Mexico, where it is absolutely mandatory to drive a car if you're traveling more than 5 feet. Yes, it is not only a show focused on meth, chicken, and the desert, but also cars. A lot of cars. Indeed, each character drives a whip that reflects perfectly their personality and style preferences. So today, we're ranking and looking at who had the best car in Breaking Bad. Let me start off by saying that Walter Jr. had the worst one. I mean, a 2007 Chrysler PT Cruiser that looks like a croc shoe. Now that was his second car. We'll get into his first ride later on down the list. On his 16th birthday, his parents brought him this piece of trash. Oh my gosh. For a 16-year-old teenager, you wouldn't expect anything more, but after having a crazy first car, he was definitely underwhelmed at the PT Cruiser, just like all of us would be.
Why you gotta be such a bitch? Hey.
Hank's gently psychotic kleptomaniac wife, Mary Schrader, drives a first-gen 2008 Volkswagen New Beetle. All self-conscious feminine style, but nothing unique underneath. Mary gets 25th place. He's rough, rugged, and red-blooded, or at least he thinks he is. Hank Schrader rolls around in a massive, great big SUV, but this is a 2006 Jeep Commander, and inside, it's full of soft, sensitive luxury. See what they did there? In Season 2, we're revealed with Donald Margolis's car, Jane's dad. In later episodes, we learn that he was responsible for causing a plane crash while working as an air traffic controller. He's seen driving a white 2003 Lincoln Aviator. They really thought about everything. As for Bae, Jane, her car is a black 2005 Subaru Outback. The Subaru is never seen being driven. It only appears parked in the driveway of Jane's apartment unit, so we assume it was hers. Tuco Salamanca was a drug dealer, and the writers decided to have him drive a 2007 Cadillac Escalade. I'm okay with that. The Tuco cousins, who show up to murder Walt at his house with an axe, show up driving a middle-of-the-rung 3.5-liter 2009 Dodge Charger, a step down from their 2008 Mercedes-Benz CLS they used to get to the US border. 20th rank for the Benz.
It's a car that jumps up and down.
Crazy 8 and his cousin Emilio Koyama pull up on Jesse and Walter White in a yellow 1980 Buick Regal. Crazy 8's car. Crazy is a tough peddler, but Walt outsmarts him easily. In season number 5, Walter White is on the run and steals a white 1990 Volvo 240DL in New Hampshire, only to drive it back to Albuquerque and tie up all those loose ends in his life. The foreshadowing from Vince using that particular license plate gives a hint that Jesse would live free and Walt wouldn't be so lucky. Can't beat a clean Volvo, baby. 18th place. The jerk that steals Walt's parking spot, Ken, drives a maroon BMW E36 318IC. With the license plate, Ken wins. Walt gets the satisfaction of setting Ken's BMW on fire by putting a wet squeegee in the engine bay. W for Walt. Tax evader Ted Beneke buys a 2009 Mercedes-Benz SL550 after receiving a legacy worth a total of $621,000. Wrong moves. Now, before Walt gets his big break as America's best meth cook, he works 2 jobs to make ends meet. When he is not teaching, he does some hours at the A1A car wash. There, the owner bullies employees, even making cashiers scrub cars. One of Walt's students, named Chad, drives his red 2006 Chevrolet Corvette C6 to the car wash and notices that the person cleaning it is his very own chemistry teacher, Walt. He goes on to laugh and take pictures, intimidating Walt in the process. This incident is part of what drives Walt to quit and consider a career change.
Fuck you, Bogdan. What? I said fuck you! And your eyebrows!
Gretchen Schwartz opulently rolls in a 2004 Bentley Continental GT, and the license plate is an abbreviation of Gray Matter, the company owned by Gretchen and Elliot. Basically, shitting on Walt. Combo likes it pimped out. In Season 3, this ridiculous-looking 1980 Datsun 200SX can be seen in a flashback where Combo sells Jesse his mother's RV. The Datsun is seen outside his place, with a wing that will surprise more than one, but it matches his look pretty well though. Again, well thought. As a criminal lawyer, what would you drive? Saul Goodman is simultaneously ostentatious and a bit rubbish, much like his big white choice of wheels, a 1997 Cadillac DeVille. It has a white paint job and a bright yellow personalized plate that reads LWYRUP, portraying the phrase lawyer up. For Jimmy, his Cadillac is an important symbol of his professional success. Now, what would one drive as a criminal's wife? Skylar White gets up to all manner of hijinks in this cool, repelling, wood-sided, red 1991 Jeep Wagoneer. It's nearly so bad that it's good, ain't it? Listen, don't get mad at me for putting it at 11th rank. Skylar's 1991 model is the perfect match for her no-nonsense demeanor and the daily responsibilities of holding the household together while her husband channels Scarface. In season number 5, Walt hires Todd Alquist to help him and Jesse rob a train of 10,000 gallons of methylamine. Throughout these apparitions, we see a few glimpses of Todd's 1981 Chevy El Camino, a coupe pickup hybrid that was first introduced in 1959. Jesse kills Todd in the finale and steals the El Camino to flee the compound. Jesse and the car's story play out in 2019's El Camino, a Breaking Bad movie. Such a cool ride. Top 10 for sure. Now, one of the most memorable scenes for any car guy was undoubtedly when Walt takes his son to the dealership to do some new car shopping. Heisenberg opts for the hood Bentley blacked out 2012 Chrysler 300 SRT8, while his son chooses a red Hemi-powered 2012 Dodge Challenger in the same trim. Walt Jr. had another Challenger SR Rally that he buys in Season 4, Episode 6, but his mom didn't agree at all. She also objects to the second Challenger purchase, particularly when it seems to bring out an aggressive side in her son. But they both get to keep the cars this time though. Now, I have a personal preference for the Chrysler, so 9th for the Challenger and 8th for the 300. Badger, Pinkman's doofus mate, had a pretty cool mid-engine sports car, a faded gold 1986 Pontiac Fiero. It's just cool and futuristic looking for its time too. A black 1988 Chrysler 5th Avenue is one of my personal favorites in the series. It is driven by Mike Ermitroff, and he has had this car for years. The car gets damaged after Jesse uses it to ram a criminal and another vehicle in an attempted robbery that he didn't know was staged by Gus. The Los Pollos Hermanos owner promises Mike to pay for the repair. 6th rank.
See that Volvo station wagon over there? I mean, the guy drives a 10-year-old Volvo. It's brilliant.
The show's most calculated stone-cold killer keeps his drug empire on the chicken wraps by driving a car so inconspicuous that its styling barely qualifies the word. Gustavo Fring's 1998 Volvo V70 is the antithesis of a drug baron's drive. Boxy and unassuming, nobody would give it a second look. And that's just the low-key approach that keeps him alive and making millions in the meth business. Fring's strategy of hiding in plain sight is what got him up at 5th place. During the pre-Heisenberg era, Walter White hammers home his baby boomer good guy persona by driving the deeply terrible, deeply aspirational 2004 Pontiac Aztek, which honestly is enough to turn anyone to crystal meth. You know what I'm saying? The Aztek is nothing but a reminder of bad days for Walt. So he sells it to his mechanic Benny for a whopping $50. But it became so legendary that I had to throw this piece of trash at 4th rank. At the beginning of Breaking Bad, Jesse drives a red 1982 Chevy Monte Carlo lowrider with hydraulic suspension. With a Captain Vanity license plate, it didn't take Walt too long to figure out that Jess was the meth dealer the DA was searching for. But after the car is damaged in a shootout, he switches to a less conspicuous 1986 Toyota Tercel station wagon that he ends up driving for the rest of the series. Aaron Paul had a chance to take the car home with him after the show wrapped, though it ultimately wound up in other hands. Apparently, it was sold for $4,700 at an auction. 3rd for the Monte Carlo, 2nd place for the Tercel. Now, at first place, I had to put the car that if it didn't exist, the series wouldn't exist either. Driven by Walt and Jesse, the 1986 Fleetwood Bounder RV, dubbed the Crystal Ship by Jesse, is an RV that the duo turned into a mobile lab. And it's about as reliable as a relationship between White and Pinkman. The Crystal Ship was the best and most important car in Breaking Bad. And for that, first rank. If this list made you want to cook something, think twice, and I'd recommend you to go binge watch Breaking Bad instead. As you saw, every character's car was super well thought out, and autos played a bigger part in that series than we expected from a non-car TV show. Let us know what movies and TV shows you want us to cover next. And if you're also interested about what comedians drive, take a look at this video right here. Alright? Peace fam, and drive safe.